It's called medical tourism, a new trend that has Americans packing up their medical problems and traveling to exotic destinations. It's a Superman-style flight far above the treetops, but what brought this Metro Detroit dad here is less about taking risks and more about protecting his health.
Not much dry out here this morning.
In 2004, Chris Edwards walked away from his TV career to spend more time with his family. He also gave up the benefits that came with the job.
Well, I have health insurance, but like a lot of people, I've increased my deductible to make the health insurance more affordable. So I have a very high deductible right now.
So when a doctor told the 48-year-old he needed a colonoscopy, Chris wanted to know what it was going to cost him. He was shocked by what he learned.
So I made a phone call to the doctor and found out that the colonoscopy was going to be $7,000. I couldn't believe it. My doctor couldn't believe it. We had no idea.
So Chris kept calling, and the more places he called, the more prices he got.
I called a lot of places and looked at a lot of places on the internet. And basically in Southeast Michigan, I found a range of colonoscopy cost from $2,000 to $2,500 at the low end, up to about $9,000.
We did our own digging. We too found a wide range of prices. Hospital costs alone ranged from $1,400 to $3,500. Then tack on doctor's fees, the anesthesiologist bill, and lab costs. To make matters more confusing, there are different prices for people with or without insurance. So calculating the average cost of any procedure is complicated, which is why Chris decided to take a trip. He renewed his passport, packed his bags, and traveled thousands of miles from home to Costa Rica, Central America.
$350, 350 US dollars to do the colonoscopy here, which would have cost, again, anywhere from $2,000 to $7,000 in Metro Detroit. It would have been at least $3,000 out of my pocket. So we're talking a tenth of the price.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
It's called medical tourism, and it's estimated by 2012, 1.5 million Americans will combine medical procedures with foreign vacations. Chris set up his trip through the U.S. company HealthBase.
Arrangements in terms of the lodging, picked us up at the airport, brought us to where I was staying, will take me to the dentist, will take me tomorrow to the doctor, will bring me back, will take care of all the transport and the transfers from one place to another.
Once settled in the outskirts of San Jose, we follow Chris on his first stop, the dentist. Here, he's having extensive work done at about a third of the price he'd pay at home. Inside the bright white office, the dentist tells me he does things just like his peers in the U.S.
Since I go to the United States very often and I go to dental seminars 2 or 3 times a year to the United States, I know that the materials that my colleague dentists in the United States are using are the same ones that I'm using over here. Say the porcelain, say the cements, you name it, we're using the same.
Used to be in developing countries like this one, quality of medical care would be a big concern because of water, electricity, communication, and transportation. But now, thanks to economic growth and the accreditation of facilities, medical tourism is taking off all over the globe, luring tourists to places like Mexico, Latin America, India, and Thailand. What do American doctors think? According to the American Medical Association, medical tourism is a small but growing trend among American patients, and it's unclear at this time whether the risks outweigh the benefits. There are risks with any medical procedure, but when it comes to medical tourism, consider this. If something goes wrong, you may have no legal or medical recourse. Extensive travel can be exhausting and raise your risk of post-op complications, and infectious disease can be a threat. According to the University of Delaware, a heart valve replacement that would cost $200,000 or more in the U.S. goes for $10,000 in India, air travel and vacation included. A dental bridge worth $5,500 in the U.S. costs $500 in India. A full facelift that would cost $20,000 in the U.S. runs about $1,200 in South Africa.